What are you? This is Almost Never by Daniel Sada, translated by Catherine Silver. Sada actually passed away last year while this translation was in progress. He was only 58, and this is especially sad because Sada has been hailed as one of the most important writers in Spanish of his generation. Not bad. Almost Never is about a guy named Demetrio who is lonely. He works a boring job, but it makes him plenty of money, so he decides that because he's lonely, he should go to a whorehouse. Then he falls for one of the whores named Mireia, and then another lady friend enters the picture, and that's where the story gets really interesting. He meets this other woman, Renata, at a wedding reception. And she is a beautiful woman who is everything Mireia isn't. That is to say, most importantly, she's a virgin. So one courtship starts with sex, and the other one will end with it if Demetrio even makes it to marrying her. So I guess this is a love triangle, although it's kind of an unconventional one, because this book and, well, Demetrio as a character are mostly just focused on sex. So this isn't about who's funnier, or smarter, or more stable. Nope, this competition is about who's sexier. And who's sexier between a whore and a virgin becomes about whether or not it's sexier to wait. And if you're thinking at this point that I'm overplaying the role of sex in this book, I shall now refer you to the first page. Oh, look at that! The first word is sex. And it continues. Sex as an apt pretext for breaking the monotony, motor sex, anxiety sex, the habit of sex, as any glut that can well become a burden, colossal, headlong, frenzied, ambiguous sex is a game that baffles, then enlightens, then baffles again, pretense sex, see-through sex, pleasure, in the end, as praise that goes against the grain of life lived. That goes against the grain of life lived. Right. Because without sex, Demetrio's life is nothing but drudgery. So it might sound like this book is about a man's dilemma, and yes, a man is our protagonist. But the more I read, the more I found this book to be about women and women's issues. So maybe Demetrio is the main character, but pretty much every other person in this book with a name is a woman. The only relatives we encounter are mothers and aunts, no fathers or brothers or uncles. Which means Demetrio gets all of his advice about women from other women. And we could see his choice as being between two equally worthy women. One just happens to be offering pleasure up front while the other insists on waiting. Both are trying to use Demetrio to get ahead, though. Which means this is a book about two women who are trapped. One is in a whorehouse and one is in a strict conservative home, but both believe that Demetrio is their only means of escape. Elaborate rituals of courtship and sex, that's their weapon. And it certainly keeps Demetrio busy. This novel of crazy courtship is by Daniel Sada, and you are watching the sexiest book blog, Brave Little Books.